And I have the good fortune, of course, to be talking with you here with book eight, although I think it's number 13 in the series overall,
It's so
but it's
confusing.
eight within the direct continuity.
It's numbered book eight, but it's basically it's like number 11 in the sort of narrative storyline because there's three books that we didn't give numbers out of me fearing that I would get angry emails from readers because they're not Jack's not narrating them, so there's not the same sort of voice as usual, and the main character, is not in them as much, if at all, as usual. One is a book just from June's point of view. One's a book from Quentin Dirk's point of view, and one is a sort of graphic novel that sort of shows little mini adventures for each of them, and then kind of bridges books. What is it? Bridges books like 4 and 7, like what the bad guys have been doing between 4 and 7 when we haven't seen them for a little while. So it's like book 5.5 and sort of like 7.5 ish is how it ends up working. But yeah, so there's about 11 books, even though.
Do you have an end in mind? Or, I mean, theoretically,
Yeah.
this can go forever, right?
No, I wish. So I'm around around book 5. I felt like I was kind of being faced with can they just kind of do this forever and continue to go on, monster of the week, monster of the book sort of things, or is it gonna be like transition into something that feels more like this is the big goal quest for the series, and felt myself getting pulled towards like this is the big kind of this is the big quest, but that was scary because I knew that kind of would give it a number, like a there would be I'd have to have an end in mind because it couldn't keep going. And I also found myself struggling with trying to keep giving the kids like emotional arcs and stuff within each book. When, on book 9 or book 10, is it, like what's Jack going through this time? I found that without sort of knowing where it was going and having a sort of a plan for it, that was really difficult. And of course, there's all sorts of books that you don't need that, and that works just fine. Like Indiana Jones, that's I still think of movies, but like James Bond, Indiana Jones, those characters don't change much. They just sort of go out and have a cool adventure, and that's it. And that's why we love those things, I think. But when it's in the first person, at least for me, this is just me, like I had trouble writing it without Jack sort of having to kind of learn something and figure out something about himself and about friendship and life and stuff like that. So I think there will be number 8 just came out. I think there'll be 3 or 4 more like main books in the series. So I have an end in mind. I have an end in mind. Right now I'm working on book 9. I'm behind as usual, but and it's a little bit different than book 8 and book 9. The closer it gets to sort of an end, the more the books start to get a little bit different, because just have to kind of, the kids find themselves in different situations. They have to, or else you sort of going over ground you've already walked. So they end up also being different. Then there's new challenges, like you said, balancing like this spooky with the action with the sort of lighthearted, Goonies feeling hijinks of it. That same stuff happens and pops up, but in new and different ways as the series gets on.